Alright, so let's continue. Um, Last version we have our code say yay every time we do the fireball thing with KLQ. I'm not entirely sold yet on the flexibility. Mm, Flexibility, no, I mean accuracy of the buttons. I think, it takes me a little bit longer than it used to, so I might check that out later. But first of all, in this video, I think I want to put the animation in there and then clean up the code a little bit and, get the special move to the next level. So, first off, um, first off, I'm going to add a couple of things to the update keylog script. So it's not actually a script, it's just, code under an action. So I'm going to do that length thing. So how many keys are we remembering? I'm going to put that in here. So length equals string length. Keylog. There we go. So now we can use that instead. So down here in the other script for the special moves, now you can just write length minus 3. We're going to use length a whole lot. So next, I also want to keep track of what the last key is, because we're actually going to do our jumping and all that kind of stuff. Actually, jumping might be the only one that I might not do through this thing, but our regular movement and everything, we're just going to keep it in sync with our key lock. So we're going to use our last key for that. And I'm going to set up a variable called last key. And it's going to be the character, so string char at, the character in the key lock that's at the very end. There we go. And this script is exactly the same as it is in my final version, so we don't even have to open this ever again. Alright, so length and last key are variables that we've set up right now. So with all that in mind, I think we want to put the animation in for the Hadouken. Now, basically I'm going to mess a little bit with this script as well, because I would like to cut off the key lock at some point, and yeah, I would like to remove the dupes from the key lock, really, because I don't think we're doing that right now. Oh, and that's probably why my script is laggy. So I already solved my problem. So I want to remove the dupes. So what we would typically do is go like, hey, key lock, and here we go X, remove dupes, key lock. Now, that is not going to work very well. The reason for it being that every frame we're going to start narrowing these things down, and we're basically just, between frames, we're going to lose a whole lot of data. We basically want to reanalyze the new key lock every time, not the key lock that had its dupes removed. Or I should just say duplicates. Anyway, so we're going to set a second variable for that. And that one is, we're going to call it the check lock. And the check lock is basically our remove dupes key lock with allowed dupes behind it. So, and I'll actually copy over the code that I've got in case you'd like to read it. The code that I've written in my own text. So we should never override our key lock, as that means losing data between every frame. Alright, so we're going to work with check lock instead of, so check lock instead of key lock. And we need to have the length of the check lock then. So that means that we're going to use, string length check lock here. Alright. Now I would imagine that I would be able to pull off my fireball a lot easier now. So let me try. Oops, I made a mistake. Yeah, okay. Dupes allowed. Thank you very much, Game Maker. I wish there was like, this Amazon Prime video thing where you bless 10 seconds back on the recording. Oh well. Alright, let's click on this thing here. Yay. Yay, 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 yay. I have way too many yays right now. Oh yeah, that's probably because we have a very long key lock going on, and it's just... No, we're only looking at the last tree, right? I don't know what's going on with that thing, to be honest. Don't think it matters. Doesn't work the way we like it yet, so we'll just keep continuing a little bit. I mean, this is when you already know where you need to end up, it becomes harder and harder to do stuff in the middle, and I don't really feel like debugging it at this point. Anyway, let's make sure that we cut off our key log at some point as well. So I'm going to put that up here. No, actually, I think I want to put it after the check lock. Yep. So cut the key lock at some point, because we don't want our key lock to become something like and just have it keep on going on for pages and pages. We want it to be cut off at a certain point. I think I actually already explained this to you guys. So whenever the key lock is bigger than the cutoff point that we already set, what we're gonna do is our key lock is, and we're gonna do this string copy thing again, just like we did here. I'm actually gonna just copy paste that thing over, but not, this time we're not using the check lock but the key lock, and we're doing string length key lock minus cutoff, and our end thing is cutoff. And I think that, yep, that's exactly what we want. Now instead of string length key lock, we could obviously use length now, and that should work. Excuse me. So yeah, so now we've got that thing in there. What's next? Maybe just a little visualizing the code as it's going on. So show debug message, and what I'm going to do in here, because this is actually how I programmed this thing, I'm going to write a string, and like first thing is key lock. Alright, key lock plus key lock. Now what we're going to do here in key lock is a string, so it doesn't matter, but oops. So actually, yeah, we're not going to do anything. So darn it, I just lost all my code. Yeah, alright. Bugger. Alright, so again from the top. Key lock plus key lock, which is a string, so it's fine. Plus, I'm just going to put this in here. Doesn't matter what you put there. This is just, you know, some characters that is going to be written in the compile window. Key lock plus, and then we're going to do the last tree, I guess. And last tree is also string, so we can just go last tree. Yeah, let's see what happens when we run this. So here we go, and we get an error. Player cutoff not, alright. Yeah, obviously cutoff, I forgot the underscore here. And run! Alright, so what we see in here now is we see our full key lock, and we see the last three characters the way it's interpreted by GameMaker. I might make errors on that stuff, you know. Now, it shows us the release character that I set. The code for release is actually the number symbol. I don't know, is it bracket or I don't know what it's called in English actually. Anyway, and if I press a button like L, whoa, look, it puts the code in there. So L is our right, and right is actually the B button. Isn't that cool? So this is really our key. I mean, we made this little animation. Now it's not going to work for any key. It has to be a key that we've got registered. So you can do JKL. Look at him go. So if I do a fireball now, you can actually, well, it goes way too fast, but you can see he picks up the CBE in there at some point, and you can see them coming out real nice. And we can also see that our key log is actually kept at the 24 characters that we had. So script is working like a charm. All right. Oh, and the yay is probably in there as well. If I scroll up, well, this might be quite some scrolling up though here. No, oh, that's unregistered. Okay, I tried to do it. Hey, see? He did yay right before we went into CBE. Here we go. So, yay, he actually registered yay twice. It's probably not going to be a problem if he registers it twice, to be honest. Yeah, because it's probably in here twice or something. Yeah, he registers it twice in a row. Whatever. Don't think that's going to be a problem because we're going to set that you can't do fireballs while the second fireball is going anyway, so that we shouldn't worry too much about that. So yeah, yay debugging. So this looks like it's all working pretty well. I'm going to get rid of this Hadouken thing because this seems like it works. All right, so let me clear up this code a little bit. Let's see, for special move. All right, so I got my check lock in here. I got my cutoff. And then we're looking at the last tree. So, actually, I'm going to put a comment on that. So, grab last three keys. And then, what's next? Well, we're going to check for Hadouken. And I just deleted the code. Maybe I can still get it back. Yep, alright. Make sure you don't go back too far pressing Ctrl Z if you're doing all the same stuff that I do. So, boom. Grab last three keys. Actually, string copy check log. I think this all matches out, and you could just put it on one line if, you know. And the last tree thing, I don't think we actually need to empty that right before. I mean, we can just declare it whenever we need it. It's just going to be undefined otherwise, I guess. Whatever. I don't know. Alright, so check for Hadouken. And basically, if last tree is Hadouken, we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff, way more than just showing yay. So now we can get rid of this part, but the other part I could still use. And well, let's just set the sprite, the state, the sound, and this is straightforward stuff. I mean, sprite index, if you've done any of the other tutorials, I'm sure you know how this works. Hadouken, oh, we haven't made that one yet. Well, this is where I'm just gonna create a sprite and load a sprite, or actually edit sprite and file create from strip. And I got these set up real nice, so I can import them real fast, but if you get them from the real sheet, it's going to take a little bit longer. The Hadouken actually has, well, it actually has 4, but we need 7 images, so 7 per row, like 104, no, maybe like 70? Image height 105, 100, yeah, 105. I think that's what the value that I used when I was actually making it. 65, 50. Darn it. I wish you would just know. I mean, there has to be a way to know. Oh, well. Darn it. 70. No, it's not 70. 75? 75 might actually be it. 75 and 100. Alright, let's see. Well, if you guys don't have that file and you have to do it manually, it's going to take a little bit longer than that. Anyway. So, alright, let's see. Yep, I got him. Alright, that's perfect. Alright, we're going to call this scan Hadouken. Now, the only thing that you also need is you want to put the reference point somewhere. And I would put the reference point in the middle of the shadow every time for the character. So that would be like, you can see where it is. It's like 25, 104, 26, 104, something like that. So I'm going to go with 25, 104. Actually, wasn't it 105? Yeah, whatever. Okay. So that puts our reference point where we want it. And we've got a sprite. And this guy should have turned red, so that's good. Alright, so we got a sprite index. We need an image index at 0, so it's always running from the beginning. And, well, we're doing a special, so we're going to set our flag that we're doing the special. Special equals 1 now. And then finally, well, you know, I did write sound, so how do you work with sound? This is actually really straightforward and easy, but I know some of you are excited about telling me how to incorporate sound, so hey, let's do it. You just import it in here. You make a sound like you make a sprite. You import it. You call it. Actually, put a Z in front of it. Don't put an S because that's your sprites. Z Hadouken. Z Hadouken, and you got a couple of options here. Don't put MP3s in there. You need to, you know, MP3s aren't unlicensed. Waves or OGGs. And, well, you can see there's things that have more time for your CPU that don't have more time. So there's things that are loaded in memory that are not loaded in memory. It's kind of, you do with that whatever you like. For the purpose of this, I'm just going to leave it like that. Z Hadouken, and the code that we're going to use for that is audio play sound. Now there's other ways to play sounds as well that require less information, but Z Hadouken 1 is the priority. We're only using this in our demo, but if you might have conflicts between sounds, you want to give them priorities, and you can set the loop. In this case, we're not going to have a loop because we just want one solid Hadouken, and that's basically it. All right. So yeah, I think that's pretty solid. Let's see if this works. Excited. All right. Whoa, and he keeps going in an animation. So yeah, the Hadouken was really loud in my headphone. All right. So why does he flash up there? I have no idea about that right now. Let me think. Oh yeah, of course, I probably didn't set the reference point for the idle. So yeah, look, exactly what I expected. All right. So reference point for the idle is going to be about 23, 24, 104. It's probably not the same with the 25, but let's use 24. All right. All right. So let's run him again and see if he's still flat. Oh wait, now our idle is going to be up there. Yeah. All right, whatever. We'll bring him down in the room in a bit. Yeah, I think that was a nice animation. Works for me. All right, so let's go here. Drag that guy down. Here we go. Now he's where I want him to be. All right. So we don't want that animation to go on repeat. So we will need to deactivate the animation at some point and go back to idle. Now, to do that, we're going to have a new script, and we're just going to call this idle. So idle. And in the idle script, we're going to basically, we're going to run this at the very end, and if we are in none of our flag variables, if all those flag variables are 0, we're in no special state, we go idle. All right. So set the idle if no flag vars are active, and that would then be, if, I don't know if you remember the model by heart, if special and attack and walking, if none of these are true, what's the other one, jumping? If none of these guys are true, we're going to go into our sprite index is scan idle. All right. So that's how we're going to do it. All right. Fairly straightforward stuff. So the only thing that we have to do down here then in the special move script is once we're done with this, we basically want to move back to the idle state. Now, to do that, we're going to actually incorporate all our special states as well. So there are a couple of times when specials will not work. So specials can only be launched when there is no special ongoing, right? So when there are no specials ongoing, and if you haven't noticed yet, the exclamation mark basically means when something is the opposite. So normally, if you don't put it there, it's if special is 1. If you do put it there, it would mean if special is 0. Unless you put this thing there and then write if special is 0, then it will mean if special is 1. It basically flips whatever you put after it upside down. All right, so true becomes false, false becomes true. So for the special moves, if no special is ongoing, we can do this. Else, if a special is already ongoing, we are going to see if our animation is ended. And if our animation is ended, we are going to get out of the special state. So how do we do that? Well, it's see if the animation is ended. And so that means if our image index hits 0, then we just say special is 0 again. And reset it. So why does this work? In case that isn't clear right away. Well, we go into, we're in idle. We're not doing anything. Okay. We run this script. There's no special ongoing because we're in idle. And we're removing the dupes and everything, and our player actually does a fireball, and we end up in here and we run our special. So that means that our sprite index is set to the Hadouken, and it will be set immediately at image index 0. So image index 0 is what the player will see on the screen as soon as all the code has been run. So we don't have to worry about image index 0. The player will definitely see that. And then we get back to this script. This is not run yet. And image index 1, we're still in special. Index 2, we're still in special. And we're just down here at that point. We're not running this code anymore. So we're going here, image index 1, 2, 3. And then we actually hit image index 6. And the next frame, we go back to image index 0. And then we set it back to special. And since the code is ran before the graphics are updated, you won't see image index 0 appear anymore. So that's how we get out of it. And since this goes up first, the rest of the script will come after and we'll take care of everything. So it's an easy way of doing things. Now, something else that we would, the last part to complete the script is actually very straightforward. We also want to check for the jumping and the attack, because you can't do specials in the air. You can't do specials while you're punching. So what we're going to do is we're going to add if jumping and attack if that's not going on. So no specials while jumping or punching. And that's basically our entire special script. So let's run it, see if it works. And I'm fairly sure it will now. Right? Alright. Alright, 3 out of 3, 4 out of 4. Ah, I missed the 5th one. 5 out of 6. I mean, that's accurate enough for me. You can tweak with allow dupes, you can tweak with the cutoff, you can tweak with anything, in there. You can even change the remove dupe script if you want, and make it feel exactly the way you want it to feel. I mean, the power is all yours now. Alright? Cool, so we don't need this anymore. We're ready to move on. Good job, guys. Let's make another video right after.